Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're covering AMC. Now we didn't go to the absolute moon, however, you're still on track to reach your overall goal. I love what's going on with the chart and I still think you're following the trend pretty beautifully. The OBV hit key massive levels, VWAP looks strong, everything in between looks great, and I'm still holding every single option. I'm going to cover everything that I'm doing and what I'm expecting over the next few days in the video as well. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Let's get to it.
I got no drip in my pocket. Forgot it, or maybe I already...
All right, now before we get into the chart, I do want to go over a few things. OBV reached very critical levels, extremely high. That's what you want. You are getting a pullback on AMC. However, that's not really that bad of a thing in my opinion. You're also seeing indexes still push all-time highs, and you did have a pullback midday. But however, that is also leading into the bullish thesis in my opinion as well with AMC and GameStop. So I do think this looks very strong and good for AMC in the next few days. And I didn't expect to reach all-time highs in my opinion or push like this crazy level of pushing until possibly next week. That's when I really think that movement would happen, exactly near the end of the month. And I also want to say right now, I did not think that you'd be pushing this high so soon. I have to admit, I will admit when I'm wrong, and I will say I expected to start pushing, but I did not expect to reach all-time highs or even have the possibility of reaching all-time highs until maybe mid-September, but really the end of the year. I'm going to be completely transparent and honest. I always try to keep it 100% with you guys, and that's my opinion. But in my viewpoint, if you were going to get any type of push, it was really going to be next week. So the fact that you're moving up right now is all the better as well. You got to be looking at these as average down times. In my opinion, I do like what I'm seeing, and I am adding as much as I possibly can. But let's get to the charts. All right, so we're looking at AMC, and the blue line represents the after hours. Again, I want to be very clear. I don't think the after hours are that important. Now, pre-market kind of gives you a good look of what's going on, buying pressure coming in, things like that. But overall, I don't really care. You've seen big dips in the after hours, and you pop back up pre-market, and then you kind of stagnate it open. So not that worrisome to me. You can watch it, lose sleep if you need to. It is what it is. Now, since we've had this double bottom of sorts in that bottom after earnings down at 29, overall you've been riding up the VWAP and you've been riding up that 200 EMA when it comes to the 3-minute chart. Now I want to make it very clear, the 3-minute chart is not something that is extremely respectable or something that I use frequently, but I want to talk about what's going on now. You had that little bit of a retrace, so you had one leg up, one leg down, popping back up, now you're coming back down a little bit, but you're still sitting on that 200 EMA. You still look fine in my opinion, and where I was looking for that pullback, to be honest, has been 42.5 to like 41.5. This range down here should be a little bit lower, but there's a possibility that you just double bottom right here at 42.56. But I have a little bit of a block of where I'm looking at. Now, it's also worth mentioning, let's actually go to the 15 minutes so you can see a little bit clearer, so you can see more time. This weekly that we had a long time ago, that's a pretty big support, and we actually sat at $44 like for a very long time today, and you close right beneath on the day. Not too big of a deal in my opinion. You still look fairly positive in my opinion as well. So I am not extremely bearish on this. I think that you're getting a little bit of a pullback. You are beneath the VWAP. However, I do think this is moving differently than it normally does trend. Now, if you go back to the past few days and how we were moving, we were just getting constant buying pressure to the upside. You touched that resistance, you held there, you broke down, and you came back up. In my opinion, I think buyers are still in control here. I think, and I don't like to talk about manipulation or short attacks or anything along that lines too much because you can't prove too much of it, if any of it, as far as numbers go. But what I will say is I think that you're definitely getting some sketchy behavior here on the stock. I think a lot of these options are being hedged for this week, specifically the 27th. I do think that is happening, but what's a possibility and something we've been talking about in the Discord is they could be delta hedging those options and then also shorting it as they're hedging it back down. So if you're pushing back down. So in my opinion, if they've hedged for, let's say, the 40s through the 42s for this week, or at least half of them, I think you'd be pushed up to $50 by now, especially after the candles that you had today. You had a lot of buying pressure. You had lots of volume kicking back in, especially the first 2 hours of trading. So keep it in the back of your mind. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm not here to say that there's massive manipulation and that, you know, keep buying or this or that. You need to manage your risk, but overall, I like where you're at. This isn't too worrisome. I like the stock. I like the price action you're getting. You're getting somewhat of a bull flag going on here too. It's queued up, in my opinion, to keep running. I think there's definitely a possibility you hit 52, by Friday, but really I'm aiming for 52 next week. Honestly, the only goal for this week was 42.5, but you definitely surpassed that when you look at the chart. So I love what I'm seeing. AMC looks extremely strong. I got to maintain my thesis there. I might be live later on tonight, but I just want to reassure people that I like what's going on. I am a bull. This looks very strong. I like AMC a lot. All right, so that's going to wrap up my viewpoint on AMC. If you have questions, please comment down below. I will be live later on tonight. I was live this morning as well. I try to answer every single question I can there. You don't have to donate. There's no pressure like that at all. I try to keep it interesting, talk about AMC, every single chart and stock that I'm personally looking at. So make sure you tune in later tonight. The Twitter link is down below as well. So make sure you get those notifications every single time I do go live or post a video. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Back tomorrow. Namaste.
I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean